Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is May 3rd, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. Our latest storm system is readily apparent here, spinning right off our coastline. You can see it's got some clouds with it, and it kicked off some thunderstorms yesterday, actually some widespread activity, and we'll take a look at what that is going to bring us here over the next few days. We'll take a look at what is coming here as we go on in through next week. So, taking a look at yesterday, and you can see we did have some pretty good lightning activity there, right around Lake Tahoe, especially up to Modoc County up into southern Oregon. And we had some thunderstorm activity even down across some of the southern Sierra Nevada there as well. So, let's scroll through the overnight hours. There was a few lightning strikes ongoing. There was a few there in Lassen County, and again, kind of just near Reno off to the east of Lake Tahoe. And again, another thunderstorm kind of popping off there as well. And as we go through this morning, there's still another thunderstorm. There's going to be more thunderstorm activity. Clearly, you can see the clouds and the moisture are in place, and this is going to be with us here for the next few days. So, looking at the last 48 hours, precipitation amounts generally on the light side out here across much of Northern California, but there are some locations that got a bit more. If I check out in Frenchman Dam, there north of Lake Tahoe, if I scroll in a little bit, there's Honey Lake Valley, and yeah, there was a few measurable precipitation totals coming in there just off to the west of Lake Tahoe as well. And then we scroll down through some of the southern or the central Sierra Nevada, and then down through the southern Sierra Nevada. Actually, a couple of decent amounts out there. That tends to happen with some of this thunderstorm activity. And over the last 48 hours, we've even had a little bit across some of Southern California here as well. So, again, let me know what you guys have been seeing out there. Did you get enough to wet the ground, or is this just kind of nonsense here? I mean, it does show a pretty persistent swath of just enough to wet the ground there across some of the towards Thousand Oaks, some of the areas in the higher terrain just off the Santa Monica Mountains there as well. So anyway, let's take a look at this upper level low. So here we go as we scroll through the day today. You can see it slowly creeping towards the state of California. By the time you get towards tomorrow afternoon, you can see the upper level low is right there across the central coast. And then as we go on in through Tuesday afternoon, here it goes. It's starting to kick off to the east at this point. And then this ridge starts to get reestablished as we go through next week. I'll show you what that will mean for us here as far as temperatures are concerned as we go. And then if you go a little bit further out towards the end of next week, look at this next ridge get established all the way up and down the west coast of North America. So a couple of things to watch here going forward. Now, if we look at thunderstorm potential, again, today we're going to have it. You can see day 2 and then day 3. And some of that could even move down across some of Southern California, the higher terrain here. But they do have that general thunderstorm risk for the next 3 days for some of the state of California. Now, also on the warming temperatures coming up, you can see Sacramento Sunday. There's Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. We start to ramp up the temperatures there again Wednesday, and then even further so on Friday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday by next weekend. Look at that. A lot of areas here into the Sacramento Valley up into the 90-degree range. Now, mountain storms, dangerous cloud to ground lightning. This is Hanford National Weather Service, and they up those percentages here as we go through Sunday and Tuesday. Heavy rain, gusty winds, small hail possible with some of these storms. So if you want to be completely safe, you should probably wait till at least 30 minutes after you hear thunder before you go back outside. Stay away from tall trees. That is not the place to be seeking shelter when there's a thunderstorm around. You need to be in a vehicle or in a building. Now, looking at a 850 millibars, approximately 5,000 feet, you can see the huge contrast going on here. Look at this massive ridge up here across the Gulf of Alaska. And in turn, there is our cutoff low here off the coast of California. And again, that will be with us here for the next few days. And if we scroll on in towards Tuesday, that finally starts to kick out of the area. We go on in through Wednesday, and you can see some of this warmth start to spread down across California here as well as the ridge gets established. That is going to mean a warm up for us here in the state of California through next weekend. But precipitation first. Let's take a look at this. You can see as we go through the day today, again, that precipitation kind of blossoms there across the Sierra Nevada, and that pushes up maybe even into the Sacramento Valley at times as we go through today. And by tomorrow morning, for sure, we're going to get some kind of deformation band on the northern portion of this low. And so we're going to get convergence on the northern portion of that low, and it's going to kick off some continuous precipitation. And again, there'll be embedded thunderstorms. And then as we go through the day on Monday and afternoon Monday, some of that could be moving down across portions of Southern California. And you see again, slow moving low as we go through the day Tuesday. Some of these showers are still around. And by the time we go towards Wednesday, finally that low is pulling off to the east. And then we start to dry out and warm up. Now, this is total precipitation in inches. This is basically just the totals of what I just showed you here. And look at some of these amounts there across the Sacramento Valley. Once you get to the blues, you're looking up over a half an inch. The yellows are over an inch of precipitation. That's coming out into some of the valley areas, some of the foothill areas, even getting more. You could total up over 2 inches for some of these locations. And you can see some of these blues and some of these darker greens move down into Southern California here as well. So yeah, you can kind of see who's favored here. And again, there's that wraparound moisture coming back across the area. So kind of a nice bounty here as we go through the early portion of May for some locations. Now, composite reflectivity, high resolution look. Let's scroll through today. And by the time you go towards about what? This is about 1 o'clock. Again, thunderstorm activity will be kicking off, perhaps including Lake Tahoe again, maybe Red Bluff, swinging back out towards the coastal range here as we go through this afternoon. We continue on in through Monday, and then as we go through the afternoon hours, you'll see it pop off again here, maybe down to the San Joaquin Valley, from the coastal range here as well. And then as we go through that, this is Monday, and if we go through the day Monday, we could be kicking off some of that thunderstorm activity across Southern California. And again, you see that persistent precipitation somewhere across the Sacramento Valley and some of the northern Sierra Nevada here as we go on in through Monday night. And then that upper level low will be peeling away, but still one more day of some of this wraparound moisture. Thunderstorm activity could be coming across Modoc and Lassen County, for example, and portions of Nevada as we go through the day on Tuesday. Then finally that low wrapping up by the time we go towards Wednesday. And also with this low around, you can imagine there's some gusty winds out there. This is as we go through this evening. This is about what, 6 o'clock tonight. And you can see some of these gusty southerly and westerly winds across the higher terrain. As you get off towards San Bernardino County and portions of Nevada, watch out for those gusty winds. Yeah. But let's see. Let's play through that a little bit here and see how long those hang out. If we go through the day on Monday, you can see them pick up again here as well across portions of southeastern California and up into Nevada at times. So truckers, watch out for some of those gusty winds here. It could be a crosswind for some of the interstates out there. Now, daily 2-meter maximum temperature. This is for today, Sunday, May 3rd. You see some 90s out there towards the Salton Sea, some 70s out there for Southern California, warming up towards 80 for Bakersfield, 75 for Redding, probably 73 or so for Sacramento, the Bay Area, and the cooler side of things here today. And as we go through, actually, I didn't want to skip through that just yet. Let's go through tomorrow. There's Monday, even further suppressed here. Again, the upper level low probably being the closest proximity, right smack dab on the middle of California here. Tuesday, again, fairly suppressed, but by the time we go towards Wednesday, look at the temperatures bounce back. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we really ramp up these temperatures here as we go through the end of the weekend. Pretty substantial warm up. Some 90s could be even returning to some of Southern California here as well. Hundreds in the deserts. And look at this upper 90s showing up, maybe even 100 for Bakersfield as we go towards next week, and even hotter than on Tuesday. So that'll be something for us to watch here over the next few days. And if we look at the 7-day running total, you can kind of see the mixed bag here because that upper level low accounts for some of this 7-day period. And as we go on in through the mid portion of May, you can see the west starts to really bake under some of this heat here as we go towards May 8th through the 15th, and that kind of hangs on there all the way through May 17th or so. Now, the 6 to 10 day should be no surprise with what I showed you. The big yin and yang here, the western warm up here and the eastern cool down through May 12th. And there's the 6 to 10 day. They got that above normal out of here as well. And the below normal starting to show up for some portions of California. So yeah, check me out on Patreon. Check me out on Facebook. Hopefully you guys have eyes on the sky. Let me know what you guys are seeing out there. If you want to send me pictures, the best way to do it is probably to do it on Patreon. There's a chat on here as well, and you can go ahead and click on that, and you can send me all kinds of cool stuff there. So